Hi guys, I'm going to show you how to wedge out your clay so you can build another project. So I have my pinch pot here that I started in the last video. Let's say this isn't my best one, and oh look, it's ripping. So I'm going to take my clay, all my clay, and I'm going to go ahead and destroy this. But now we got to be careful because now we have air bubbles. So you got to re-wedge it back out. So I'm going to do my best. I'm just going to crumble my clay into a ball. I'm gonna do one of two. There's no right or wrong way to wedge clay. Miss A's favorite is taking out the frustration and using my board and kind of banging the clay to the board on the canvas side to pull out moisture. That's my favorite way. There are tons of other ways. So my folks at home, if you know that you're not gonna have a place to throw the clay, you can wedge just with the palms of your hands. So you're gonna take your clay and you're gonna just push down. You can push out a little bit too. And then what I like to do is I fold it again and I do the same thing. You just wanna get that extra, air, water. Your hands are gonna absorb most of the water from the clay, so you don't have to worry about that. And then I just give it a couple throws just to make sure. And then every project, usually for the most part, for the first one starts with a ball, so then you can use the method I showed you in the other video in order to make it into a ball. So that's throwing, like a throw wedge, press down and fold. And you can use your hands to get it to your desired shape. Remember, the first step to the pinch pot is to make it a ball. So that's what I would do after I feel like my clay is wedged. I wedged for about 25, 30 seconds. That's fine because I already pre-wedged it in the beginning of this video. So there's tons of techniques. You just really want to get the clay out. So that loud sound means that there are still air bubbles in there. You can see them here and here, and I would just kind of keep going until I felt like the clay was at a good point that I could, start building. All right guys, just a quick video on just how to wedge two pieces of clay together. Say I don't have enough clay and I've cut it into pieces, and now I want these two pieces together. Instead of going over and cutting a new piece, both pieces are really good consistency. This one's a little stiff, but we'll wedge it out. So I'm gonna start, and I'm just gonna put them together and press them together. And then I like to take my thumb and kind of fuse them. We know doing this will give us an air bubble, but we're gonna wedge, so it's gonna be okay. So I'm just gonna kind of push them together. You can hear the air bubbles popping. I'm going to use the heel of my hand here, the fat part of my hand, and I'm going to go ahead and start pressing. I'm going to wedge this way as well, just to make sure that I have all my bases covered and I'm doing my best to get these two pieces together and wedged out. Now, sometimes it happens and there's an air bubble that you miss. Putting two pieces of clay together is no easy task because there's never really an answer. So it could be that they're together without air bubbles. It could be that they're not. There's only really one way to tell, is to let it dry and see how it dries. But I'm just going to keep wedging. I'd wedge this a little bit longer. I'd probably wedge it for 2 to 3 minutes. It does get tiring and time consuming, but you want to just make sure your clay's all wedged out correctly before you start building, so you have projects that last. So that's wedging two pieces together to get one solid piece. And now I'd be ready to start building.